Welcome to my views and news, another video with some new stories for you. First one is about the mobilization of Fano fighters. While we received some reports 2 days ago that Amhara forces, some contingents of the Amhara regional forces were leaving Alamata. After that, a sudden mobilization of Fano militia members is being seen towards Raya, towards southern Tigray. Secondly, viewers, an IMF delegation is visiting Ethiopia. We know that Ethiopian government requested IMF for financial package, for a bailout package. This delegation is in talks with Ethiopian government. What is happening? Any progress made so far? And thirdly, viewers, 2 days ago, angry Somali city zone residents blocked Ethiopia-Djibouti road and Ethiopia-Djibouti railway line. The road remained blocked for hours. Rail service was suspended too. Ethiopian army opened fire. Some protesters were injured and killed. And after that, Ethiopian army laid siege to a town, to a small town. Residents of the town were the ones who blocked Ethiopia-Djibouti road. We have details for you. Firstly, viewers, Southern Tigray Raya zone disputed territory between Tigray and Amhara regions. No final decision has been made regarding the future status of this area. Pretoria deal, Ethiopian federal government, both Pretoria deal states that the issues will be resolved through dialogue. Ethiopian government says issues between Tigray, Amhara border issues, territorial issues will be resolved in accordance with Ethiopian constitution. Overall, there is uncertainty about what is going to be the future status of Volkayet and Raya. And Amhara region is in control of Raya so far, Volkayet as well. Amhara government has appointed a mayor in Raya. And a few days ago, we saw a huge rally taken out by people. Rally was taken out in Alamata. I am Amhara, Rise Amhara were the slogans chanted at the rally. Tigray Communication Affairs Bureau reacted against the rally, saying that Amharas from outside southern Tigray were brought for this rally and that Ethiopian federal government, international community should intervene. Raya is part of Tigray. Now, 2 days ago, we shared with you a new story that Amhara forces were starting to leave Alamata. Starting to leave. I didn't say that they had totally withdrawn. Because some contingents of Amhara regional forces were seen leaving Alamata. And before that, we know that Amhara forces were told to leave surrounding areas, countryside areas. And they were told to report in Alamata and Koram. Then 2 days ago, some contingents were seen leaving Alamata towards Avolo. And new contingents of Ethiopian National Defense Force entered Alamata. So it was being predicted that ENDF would take complete control of Raya and all Amhara forces will leave southern Tigray. But before the complete withdrawal of Amhara forces from Raya, from southern Tigray, we were seeing mobilization of Fano fighters towards the border, Raya Wollo border, southern Tigray Wollo border. Reportedly, Fano fighters, East Amhara Wollo Fano fighters from Lalibela, from Vuldia, Marsa, Gashina, they are reporting at some camps, some places which are on Raya Wallo border. They're trying to ensure that Amhara forces stay in Raya. They don't withdraw. And they want to ensure that Tigray forces don't take control of Raya. So they are there reportedly in Wallo. And Amhara forces have not completely withdrawn. Reportedly, they're still there in Alamata and in Korum as well. Mostly in cities, not in countryside, not in surrounding areas. Amhara region is trying to send a strong message to the federal government. The federal government should not give this area to Tigray. Federal government is in a fix. Some sources say federal government has decided to hand over Raya, but opposition is being seen in Amhara. So issue is still unresolved. Both sides are sending messages through rallies, through mobilization of fighters, through withdrawals, through a movement of forces and armed factions. Both are flexing their muscles. So far, Amhara forces still in Alamata and Korum, and Fano fighters on border, Raya Wallo border. And Fano fighters, they were in Raya, but East Amhara Fano fighters, they were told to withdraw from Raya months ago. They were removed from main cities and towns of Raya. So I have no information that they are still in Raya. What I know is that they are in border areas on Wallo Raya border. Now ENDF has a crucial role to play. How will it handle this issue? Amhara forces, Fano fighters, they are defying. They're defined. Tigray wants Raya back. What will the federal government and federal forces do? Let's see. Secondly, words, an IMF delegation is in Ethiopia for the last 2 to 3 days. The delegation will stay in Ethiopia for around 10 days. Technical level talks are underway between International Monetary Fund and Ethiopian government's finance ministry officials. The talks are about definitely bailout package for Ethiopia. Ethiopian government requested IMF for financial package a few months ago. Since then, talks have been underway. Deal could not be finalized, but after Ethiopian government's decision to drop its bid for putting an end to the mandate of UN Inquiry Commission on Ethiopia, it is being hoped that Ethiopian government could get bailout package from the IMF. That is why after Ethiopian government decided not to press ahead with its resolution to put an end to the mandate of UN Inquiry Commission, we saw the arrival of this IMF technical committee in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. Talks are underway. US is the main stakeholder in IMF. And US is trying to adopt a carrot and stick policy towards Ethiopia. US wants to ensure that it is not replaced by Russia and China in this region, in Ethiopia. At the same time, US does not want to give this impression that it is standing entirely behind PM Abiy's government and that violations of human rights committed during two-year-long war have been ignored. US wants to keep superficial pressure upon Ethiopian government regarding investigations for human rights abuses. Otherwise, I personally think that US and Ethiopian government, they have reached an understanding that UN Inquiry Commission will be made dysfunctional sooner or later. And Ethiopia is going to get some financial aid in the form of loans, grants, loan rescheduling in coming days. Let's see. A lot of incoming videos about progress made in the talks. Reportedly, some progress has been made. Thirdly, viewers, City zone, Somali region of Ethiopia. Afar Somali border. The two regional states have been involved in border dispute, in dispute over territories on Ethiopia-Djibouti road, close to the road for years. 2 days ago, Somali Isa tribal elder Ogas called on Somalis to block the road, to protest, to block Ethiopia-Djibouti highway. The road and the railway line were blocked. Protesters did not open the road. They chanted slogans against Ethiopian army. They accused Ethiopian army, Ethiopian federal government of supporting Afar militias who have taken control of Garbaise, Udato, Undofo. A viewer contacted me and said, Sajid, you pronounce the names incorrectly. Garbaise is basically Gedamato. Problem is that the two sides use different names for these two zones, for these three areas which are disputed. So while I'm using these words, I am not supportive of one or the other party. Whatever the names are, the areas, the towns, three towns especially, they have been disputed for years. Now, Ethiopian military tried to disperse the protesters to open Ethiopia-Djibouti road, which is a lifeline for Ethiopian economy. All Ethiopian exports, imports move along this road. The protesters refused to open the road. The security forces opened fire. At least 3 protesters were killed and several were injured. And after that, Ethiopian military laid siege to a town which is on Ethiopia-Djibouti road, close to the road and close to Ethiopia-Djibouti border. Aysha is the name of the town. Aysha residents blocked Ethiopia-Djibouti road. And that is why Ethiopian military laid siege to it. House to house searches are being conducted. People are being arrested. Some protesters were injured in the firing done by security forces 2 days ago. So tensions there. But Somali Isas are continuing their protests. Issue is unresolved so far. Resolution of this issue requires a broader effort, involvement of Afar, Somalis, Ethiopian federal government, and maybe Djibouti's involvement. Because whenever there is problem in Ethiopia, its repercussions are felt in Djibouti. Afars live there, Somali Isas live there. Or when there is problem in Djibouti, Afars are targeted, suppose, or Somalis have issues, we see its impact in Ethiopia. So broad effort is needed, involvement of internal and external players to resolve this issue between the two regional states. Aysha is under siege reportedly by Ethiopian military. Thank you for watching.